Welcome to the city of Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia. I've told you that I like to keep it real on this channel, so I have to say the truth about Malaysia. As a Venezuelan American, Malaysia was probably one of those countries I had no idea about. I had no idea where it was located and probably never heard of a city of Kuala Lumpur before. And even when I told my family and friends about going to Malaysia, they were not super sure where it was or what to see in there. So I think it's a common thing that not everyone knows about Malaysia. I was lucky to spend about 3 weeks in Malaysia, exploring around and immersing as much as I could into their ways of living. During my visit, I noticed these impressive skyscrapers, street art, amazing malls, rich culture and foods. Besides, not too many hours away, you will find gorgeous beaches and natural wonders. Does this mean that Malaysia is a hidden gem? Could this be the next place you must visit? Let's find out. I want to make this video a travel guide, but also an insider to what's like to be in Malaysia. As you arrive to the city, you will quickly notice these beautiful tall buildings and huge malls everywhere. But something to note too is that it's not just a bland city with epic buildings. The streets are full of plants, mini jungles integrated around the buildings, street food, people from different cultures everywhere, affordable prices, and amazing opportunities to enjoy nature. There are many things to do in Kuala Lumpur, and these are my top recommendations. Number 1. Enjoy the modern metropolis lifestyle in the KLCC neighborhood. In KLCC, the best attractions include the Petronas or the Twin Towers. They are the symbol of Kuala Lumpur along with the KL Tower. Tickets are 80 ringgit for adults. It's open from Tuesday to Friday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Saturdays and Sundays from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. It's closed on Mondays, so be aware of that. To buy the tickets, you must go to the Petronas Twin Tower website. The visit takes about 45 minutes and you must be there 15 minutes before your ticket time. I didn't go up there, but apparently you will get an impressive view of the city. Then there is the KL Tower. Inside, you will find an observation deck. It has a beautiful 360 panoramic view of the city of Kuala Lumpur. And the KL is the 7th tallest freestanding telecommunication tower in the world, so it's a big deal. They also have a restaurant up there which we went to, and I don't recommend it. For more details, please check out my previous video on my food guide in Kuala Lumpur. There are many shopping malls around the city, as I said. There are some that you can tell are high-end, like the Pavilion and Surya KLCC. Here you can find all of the nice and expensive brands. And there are also great restaurants inside. Some are affordable, some a little bit on the expensive side, but they're all good. And honestly, the malls are so big, you could spend the whole day here and probably not get to see it all. So take your time. So well, these two malls I mentioned are pretty upscale, and to be honest, I could not find anything to buy there. So if you want to find the real deal, the authentic clothing, things that are imported from everywhere in Asia, stores selling you all the things you can imagine, like beauty products, cheap clothes and shoes, cheap electronics, you want to go to other malls, especially in the area of Bukit Bintang, which is the main strip. This neighborhood is very busy, more affordable overall, and a bit more authentic than KLCC, but still with that spark of modernism, if that makes sense. This is where you will find the famous street food options around Jalan Alor. And just so you know, Jalan Alor is a famous street for its street food. But anyways, Bukit Bintang is still considered an area for tourists, so don't be fooled. I was told by a local that the locals don't hang out much around here due to how busy it is with tourist attractions, pretty much. But well, talking about neighborhoods, make sure you visit the cultural towns, like Kampung Baru, which is a traditional Malay neighborhood right in the heart of the capital. It's not far from KLCC. In here, you will see a residential area that was established more than 100 years ago. Instead of the famous skyscrapers, you will see wooden houses built on short stilts. As you walk the streets, you will enjoy the aromas of curries and fried foods. Bring cash so you can enjoy it. So remember, Kampung Baru is one of the oldest settlements in the city. Visit it if you want to taste a slice from the past. Chao Kit, another off the tourist circuit. This is where the Bazaar Baru Chao Kit wet market happens. Chao Kit had a reputation for being a city part of the town, being home to the largest red light district in KL. I would not necessarily stay around here, but apparently it's an emerging neighborhood and people visit it to see the market. Chinatown, the perfect place for backpackers and people looking for inexpensive stays in Malaysia. There are plenty of hotels and guest houses in this area for less than $15 per night. Pretty good, huh? Besides this, Chinatown has several small temples in the area, indoor and outdoor markets, and this is around Petaling Street. But keep in mind that this is all dedicated to tourists, so the prices are not always the cheapest. Make sure to bargain. My favorite part about Chinatown is the food. There are so many amazing restaurants. Feel free to pick the one that catches your interests. They're all good. I ate in the area twice and loved it. In general, I loved Chinatown. It's clean, tourist friendly, and cool to see. I would say this was my favorite place to visit. Little India, a very interesting neighborhood also known as Brickfields. There are numerous banana leaves restaurants with inexpensive and authentic food. The street is not too long but very interesting. Overall, it was cool to visit, but be extra careful. When people can tell you're tourists, they will sometimes take advantage of you. We had a lady that was very dishonest with us about prices for henna tattoo. She literally had another list of prices just for us and said that the other prices were for babies, which did not make sense because the pictures were of adult hands. But anyways, she was trying to charge us 5 times the actual price. She did not even care to bargain, which was surprising considering her store was completely empty. But well, just be careful and maybe just head to Little India to walk around and get delicious food. Finally, if you are coming looking for luxurious stays, take a look at Damansara Heights for the Beverly Hill vibes. It's only a 15-minute drive to KLCC. There are museums, art galleries, and restaurants around the area. Something else you must do is visit the temples and mosques. Malaysia is a melting pot of culture, and KL as the capital is the city with rich diversity of culture and history. Malays, Indians, Chinese, and many other ethnic groups live together in this city, and they are all peaceful and respectful of each other's cultures. That is why you will find space for everyone's religions and temples around the city. In KL, you will see many mosques, Buddhist temples, Hindu shrines, and even Christian churches, and all of them with a spectacular design. There is the Tin Hu Temple. It's dedicated to 3 Chinese goddesses. The temple has a combination of beliefs including Buddhism, Taoism, and Confucianism. The best way to reach it is via taxi since it is on a hill and there are no trains that go there. Sri Maha Mariamman Temple is a Hindu temple located in Chinatown and is actually the oldest temple in the city and the oldest temple of goddess Mariamman, the manifestation of goddess Parvati. You're not allowed to take pictures inside, you need to dress appropriately to come here, and the times for entry always change. We went at noon and could not enter. They said that they were going to open at 4 p.m, which was too late for me because I had to work. So if you go, be patient and flexible with the time. You have to leave your shoes outside and sometimes you have to pay, so bring cash. Another important Hindu temple is in Little India named Sri Kandaswamy Kovil. I don't think I pronounced that right, but you know what I mean. But this temple is considered to be one of the most orthodox temples in the country. About the mosques, Masjid Jamek. It's the oldest Islamic mosque in the city. It's next to a river and it has 3 domes that surround the prayer hall. The times and days open for tourists can change as well. We were not able to enter the day we came. Make sure you bring something to cover up your head, knees, and shoulders. The Blue Mosque. the largest mosque in Malaysia. This one is one of the most visited tourist attractions in Kuala Lumpur. Then there is the National Mosque of Malaysia, Masjid Negara. It's also often considered the nationwide symbol of Islam. Again, for non-Muslim visitors or tourists, you are allowed to visit only at certain times on certain days, so keep this in mind. Finally, the spectacular Batu Caves. This is in the top 3 attractions to do in Kuala Lumpur. It's only about 20 minutes away from KLCC, which is awesome. Batu Caves offers a series of limestone caves and Hindu temples. They're believed to be 400 years old. The temple inside is dedicated to Lord Murugan, and this is one of the most popular shrines outside of India. To enjoy this attraction, you have to climb 272 concrete steps, and along the route you will see monkeys, chickens, rock formations, and a very nice view. At the top of the steps, you will be rewarded with these magnificent caves. The experience is unique. I think that's a good summary of the top temples and mosques to visit in the city of KL. I was not able to enter any of them due to their lack of availability for tourists, but I hope you get better luck. Do remember these places are for prayers, so it's understandable that they don't want to have it become a museum. Other things to enjoy in KL are the green areas. There are so many parks in the city of Kuala Lumpur. My favorite without doubt was the KLCC Park next to Surya KLCC Mall and the Petronas. So it's surrounded by all of these beautiful buildings, but it's also very quiet and well maintained. Other parks include the Bird Park, Botanical Gardens, KL Forest Eco Park, which is currently closed, Butterfly Park, Taman Tesik, Titiwangsa, Taman Tanggu. Time Out has an article with over 10 parks to visit in KL or nearby, so check it out. If you have time to do day trips, please do so. You will be enjoying magical experiences with nature, including beautiful hikes, waterfalls, islands, beaches, monkeys, caves, forests, highlands. So many natural wonders to see and experience in Malaysia. We visited Penang Island and loved the experience here. It was a complete retreat and paradise for us. And if you want to check out other islands, go to that video I made on Penang to see all of the comments by the locals recommending other places to visit that are lovely. Finally, a super important thing to do in Malaysia is food. Malaysians are passionate about food, and me too. But yes, believe it's true that Malaysia really cares about food because it is something that brings everyone together. Remember that there's so much diversity in ethnicities in Malaysia, so being able to share something together is so important. Thankfully, that is food. My number one recommendation is that you get yourself a food tour. Remember that due to the diversity in Malaysia, there are so many food options and different languages, so you want to make sure you know what you're doing, and the truth is that you probably won't know unless someone guides you. Jalan Alor, as I mentioned earlier, is the most popular street for street food, and you will find great options here. But there are other hidden spots where the locals eat that maybe you won't know about unless they tell you. So get a food guide and ask them questions about other places to visit. And if you're lucky like us, you're gonna get to meet a local and hang out with them to show you around. We went out with Nico's friend and got to go to a super authentic Chinese restaurant in Chinatown where we tried all types of desserts. The experience was amazing. I will never forget it. Our friend was guiding us and letting us know what to eat, how to eat it, how it was gonna taste, and all of these background stories that were just so cool to listen to while you're eating. But anyways, if you need a surface level food guide on KL, I have a video on it with traditional foods to try and my favorite foods and restaurants in KL. As I said, we stayed in KL for 3 weeks, so I want to do my best to describe how it feels like to be in the city. From the outside, KL definitely looks like this super modern and developed city with skyscrapers, lots of cars, huge malls, and cosmopolitan vibes. The city is very organized and clean, and it's honestly beautiful. Something I did notice is that it seems like they're trying really hard to be modern. Kuala Lumpur has definitely faced an opportunity for rapid social and economic growth. The destination now excels in all arenas, including trade and commerce, finance and banking, transportation systems, and manufacturing processes. However, as a Westerner, I had the sense that the city is growing too fast, but I wonder if the people are actually ready for it. You know what I mean? KL is full of culture and religion, and those two things call for tradition. And since traditions are customs that are preserved through generations, a growing city is evolving and changing. So something feels odd. You see, when you go to a skyscraper building on top of a hill, like the KL Tower, with no taxi service downstairs, no one willing to help you, and you can't use Grab app because you ran out of cash and they don't take credit cards, oh my god. In this case, we had to walk like 30 minutes to get to our apartment under intense heat and no water. It was terrible. Or when the bus schedule says you will get somewhere in 5 hours, but you actually take 8, and the customer service people tell you that you can't trust the schedule on their website. You're like, what's going on here? So that's something to note. I think that KL wants to be very modern and up to date with all type of like good looks and technology and all that fun stuff. But the people are trying to catch up with that system, so it feels like there's a delay in the system. That's just my opinion. Something else I noticed is that though it is fascinating to go on the streets and get access to the most delicious foods from so many different countries and get to talk to a Chinese person today, an Indian person tomorrow, and someone from the Middle East the next day, and then a Malay the other day, I did wonder a lot whether there was a place for me in this arena and whether I was fully welcomed in their community. I felt so different, though they are different too, but I feel like they feel comfortable with each other. The way they blend together and accept each other despite the differences, it's something that I have never experienced. And I'm sure that with time, I can learn to accept that and reciprocate it. But initially, there's definitely a confusion factor around the notion of, is there a place for me in this city? Everyone was super nice and polite and all, but it's just something I thought about. I don't know if anyone can relate to that. Kuala Lumpur is a city with a lot of activity and passion for food and culture. If you like the cosmopolitan city vibes with Asian food and exposure to culture, this place is for you. And if you don't like the modern city vibes but prefer wildlife, well, Malaysia has a lot to offer in that area. I think Malaysia is definitely a worth visiting destination in Southeast Asia. I found it very interesting. And that being said, I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know about your thoughts in the comments below. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet, and I will see you very soon in Bali.